Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Monday Night Muse, the final installment of Monday Night Muse. Hope all is well. I'm going to go ahead and check YouTube because I just realized my chair's crying. It's kind of sad. It knows it's the last stream for a little while. I'm going to go ahead and check out YouTube because I see that there are some people watching, but I'd like to check audio just to make sure audio is fine. So one moment, and then I'll go ahead and welcome the chat. And I just have a funny feeling that I'm going to need to adjust the thermostat because I can't decide if I'm cold or hot. It's the temperature's fine, but with the lights overhead and then my headphones, it's a little like I'm sweltering. So we'll see. But let's see if I'm live. Now, the light looks weird though. I mean, is it just me or does the lighting look unusual? I guess it doesn't matter. But yeah, the light has kind of like a dusty glow. Does it look normal to you? At least I sound okay. It sounds fine. So yes, let's go ahead and welcome the chat. And this is an impromptu, guys. So really, the length of the stream is going to depend on your involvement in the chat. I thought for the final stream of the summer that I would, of course, advertise Professor Geek, my significant other, and his good work. And actually, guys, before I forget, we're all aware, we've all been told at one point or another this last week that Big Al has finally moved in his new place with his mother, but they have been without internet, and I don't know if internet is going to be up and running for them tomorrow or Wednesday. I think today's Monday. So if you guys would just give a shout out, some messages of love and support to Big Al on this stream, that would be great because of course we all really miss him, and I miss him too. The internet has been kind of empty without Big Al. Like we need his presence. It's like sustenance. So yeah, that would be great, guys. If you can say hi and tell Big Al how much you miss him, because I think we all miss him. Now we know he's coming back, but it's been like a week without him. So anyway, let's go ahead. If you guys can tell me audio's fine, I'm sure it's fine. All right. Yeah, audio sounds good. Awesome. All right, let's welcome the chat. Okay, we've got Melissa Harris. See you guys at 9:30. It is 9:34. Zootopia. Looking forward to this show tonight. Yes, it's an impromptu. I like impromptus. My light just looks so funky. Oh well, that's okay. It's supposed to happen that way, right? So this is probably, this will be the last stream in this room, but I really want to do a few commentaries like in the month of June, month of July. So you'll still see me in this room for a little bit more, a little bit longer. Brian Gilmartin, it's awesome. Oh yeah, you're not working probably because of Memorial Day. That's cool. Happy Memorial Day, guys. Yeah, happy Memorial Day. And Fotis is in the house. So Fotis is a composer and would the description be like a samples engineer? I mean, do you make your own libraries and you give tutorials for sound samples? I think I have that correct. I hope I have that correct. You are really the only composer in the chat. Everyone else is popular art fans and comics fans. And artists, illustrators as well, and storytellers. Horizon Talker is in the house. Hello. Dr. Wise also in the house. Such a lovely bit of scenery, though. Thou hast for thy thumbnail tonight. Well, thank you. Yeah, I just kind of wanted something beautiful and serene and a bit of, reflection on the water because it's going to be a time of reflection. I've just been ruminating over certain things, some artistic things over the week that I'd love to share with you guys as well. And maybe it's something that you can think for yourselves, apply for yourselves in your artistic endeavors as well. But it'll be a casual conversation. Well, I have more viewers tonight because it's my last. All right. So, and then also Wolf 10. Wonderful. And Daniel Craig, yes. I'll give the whole spiel, the channel update on what's going on. The channel is not going anywhere. I'm still going to be posting a lot of content over the summer. But yes, the channel streaming will be put on hold for, I know for sure 3 months until September, but possibly 4, because I plan on traveling in September. And Dr. Y says, and now the end is near, and we must face the final curtain. Good. Audio's good. Brian and Horizon say audio's good. Yeah. I'm going to check. Well, I don't know if there's anything I can do. Maybe if I stop the camera. It's not that bad. But yeah, it's the light behind me actually, it's just the way my light is set up. I can't wait until, a new arrangement where I have better lighting. What are you talking about? Audio has been great for the profs, at least for his live streams. Gaming streams are iffy, but I think that's just because of that external hardware and the sound card. I think it's external hardware. I think it is. I don't think he's doing it through his computer per se. I think he's doing it through a console. Oh, and Lister's in the house. Final stream for the summer. And yes, let's wish Al. We miss you, Big Al. Big Al, come back to us. And then Fotis also says, hi, Big Al. And Elijah Brown, man. Yeah, I'm glad you can be able to make it. I think you work Monday nights. All right. Come back soon, Big Al. Alas, poor Albert. I knew him, Horatio. Wait, is that how you pronounce that name? I hope I pronounced that name correct. And I feel like I should know that reference, but I don't. Wolf10 says, I was planning on an impromptu stream today, but I pulled on it. Yeah, that's kind of, because of Memorial Day. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. We need Big Al. The world does need Big Al. That is for sure. So, we have here as artists, and also the Prof and I we're a bit of the academic mold. We're coming kind of out of that academic mold. So we think of things with some variances of critique, with objectivity when it comes to art and all that stuff. But we need Big Al to kind of balance us out, like where we do have that perpetual sunshine, because Big Al is our perpetual ball of sunshine, and he needs to make those t-shirts. All right. Oh, okay. Hello, my dear Sound Engraver. Was timed out in the chat earlier, but hello, my dear Sound Engraver. Hello, my dear Prof. I hope you're almost finished with your paper. I don't know how long the stream is going to go. I'm not planning until, after 11 Eastern time. All right. Yeah, snap, crackle, and popping. Wolf10, yeah. And Wolf10 also says, congrats to Big Al. Okay, so it looks like... All right. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and do some channel update. So as I was talking about last Monday, my second to the last stream for the summer, a lot is going on. A lot is going on this summer. As I said before, my teaching, the numbers of students are increasing. I'm actually going to, beginning next week, I'm going to be teaching 2 Logic Pro classes. They're both basic Logic Pro, or the basics of Logic Pro, Logic Pro for beginners, whatever the case is. But I'm doing one night where it's online and one night where it's in the studio in person. And it'll be interesting. This is my first time teaching Logic Pro. So I've been in Logic Pro for years. I've been in Logic Pro for just ever, probably 10 years plus. And I've been teaching regularly music for about 4+ years, but I've never taught Logic Pro. So when you're teaching a new thing, you could be great at something and you could be great at teaching, but if you haven't done those things together, you kind of want the time and the mental space to prepare for that. So I'm teaching an 8-week Logic Pro course. To be honest, I have no idea how it's going to turn out. It could be a huge success. It could be a huge failure. I don't know. So I wanted that flexibility, that extra time to be able to do that. I'm going to sink my chair just a little bit so I can, sit up there. All right. So yeah, I'm teaching more. My schedule has filled, and also I will be relocating twice this summer. So the end of my lease is end of July, and I will be relocating to a friend's home for about a month or so. And then come September, I will be doing my final moving to a certain gentleman, a certain, as they say, the homestead. Yeah, that sounded like Fan Man. I think there was a Fan Man. I think his presence is in the room. That's kind of a disturbing thought. But yeah, so I'll be actually making a final move this September. So a lot is going on, and I would just like the extra time. I love streaming. I wish I didn't have to give up streaming, but I think this will be good as I kind of calibrate the different activities and set things in motion as far as my teaching schedule is concerned, as far as my channel schedule is concerned, and then also as far as my creative schedule is concerned. So that's what's happening. Now, I say that this is the last Monday Night Muse, and that's really simply because I don't know what my schedule is going to be when I come back for live streaming. I might be working Monday nights. I might not be. But whatever the case is, I will stream. But I don't know. It could be a Saturday afternoon for all I know. So might not be Monday nights. If it is, cool. If it's another time of the week and I'm doing weekly sessions, that's cool too. So the plan for the channel, as far as commentary is concerned, is same thing, sound experimentation every Thursday. I've been keeping that up since 2018, so I might as well just keep that a habit. So you'll see works in progress, you'll see Logic Pro demos, you'll see SuperCollider demos, and I will get into that in just a bit. So we will have Thursday sound experimentation videos every Thursday, as I've been doing it. That's really the core of the channel, is my sound experimentation. The commentary on art and business and art, or art business, or popular art and all that good stuff, writing, all that fun stuff. I love very, very much, and I think it's very integral to who I am as an individual and a composer. But the core of my channel is really keeping that sound experimentation and that kind of content, because I have a lot of followers who really follow me only for SuperCollider. And yeah, you may have noticed if you've seen my wall of videos, it's been primarily Star Wars. And I'm going to continue cushioning the week with some Siege of Mandalore content. I think I've posted 6 videos now, and I have about 4 or 5 more videos of that little series, little stints on writing and Star Wars and all that. And I love it. It's popular art, and I think it's important. But I really owe it to my listeners and my viewers who really like that SuperCollider content and the sound experimentation as well. So that's going to continue every week during the summer. But I would like to continue my commentary videos, whether that's posting it Saturdays or Mondays. I don't want to post something back to back, like one day and then the very next day. I'd like it, to spread out maybe at least up to 2 days ahead of time or 3 days before. So 2 days after my sound experimentation videos or 3 days before. So I kind of space it out. And then anything extra is just bonus. It's just something I've had the time to work in the week. So the goal really is to do 2 videos per week. But if I can, I'd like to do 2 to 3 videos per week, because the more frequent I am with publishing videos, the more YouTube is going to recommend my content to other people. Now, what is that fixed commentary going to look like? Well, a lot of stuff I've said on my stream as far as lectures are concerned, I feel low. This chair. That's going to be my project before my next stream is going to get a new chair. I'll keep this chair. I like this chair, but just keep sinking. So my commentary videos are going to include, of course, ideas, topics on art in general, popular art, if it comes to that, the business of making music, or kind of a healthy philosophy of making money. I actually do think, especially with experimental artists, not so much actual, composers who want to compose for games or films, but experimental artists, I have seen just time and time again this kind of unhealthy philosophy of business and money making when it comes to making money on your art. So things like that, popular art in general, philosophies, business practices, whatever the case is. And also just how I'm evaluating and reevaluating. Now, as far as series are concerned, we did talk about it last week. I do want to continue. I'm definitely continuing my Super Nintendo soundtrack series. I started it in January, and I was doing it pretty well for 4 videos, twice a month. I was doing the Donkey Kong Country series, and I'm on part 4, about 5 parts in the first game, probably be another 5 parts or 6 parts in the second game, 5 or 6 parts in the third game. And I just gotta get on it with the Super Nintendo soundtrack series. They don't get a lot of views, but I love that content, and I really enjoy it. I love providing a score, an analysis, and just general comments. Really not general comments, but comments that really involve composition analysis. I think that's really, really important. So my Super Nintendo soundtrack series will continue. I would very, 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 very much like to complete the Donkey Kong series, all 3 games. Actually, the Prof has been with me, and when we spend our evenings together, he's been letting me play his retro box, and I've been playing Donkey Kong Country 3. So I'm almost done with the trilogy as a player, as a game player, and I'd like to just provide a little bit more content, music analysis and evaluation on my channel. So that's in the works. I do need to get 1 out this month, and just 1, maybe even a longer one. So that's in the works. And then I would really, really like to do the Hero series, the Hero theme series. I still have Captain America to analyze. I have Luke Skywalker to analyze. And then, of course, composing for Batman and composing for Wonder Woman. Again, it's a short series, but it's pretty expansive. I was even kind of, should I just admit this out loud? I was even considering composing a theme for Batman. If it's not too intense, probably not Batman. I'm sorry, Superman. Obviously, it cannot anywhere near imitate the great score of John Williams, but I can model something after that mood, after that kind of form, after that kind of epic, or orchestral soundtrack. So I actually might just mess around with the DC Trinity as far as composing is concerned. Definitely has to happen with Batman. Definitely has to happen with Wonder Woman. As I've said before, Batman has an iconic motive. Wonder Woman, I don't know what she has. So those 2 need hero themes. They need actual legitimate hero themes. Danny Elfman is great. Shirley Walker is great, but it's just not a full-fledged melody that Batman has, and then also Wonder Woman. So that's on the dock. So Super Nintendo soundtracks for commentary, also the Hero theme series and analysis for commentary, and then just general stuff on art. And that should be the case. Now, let's go ahead and read the chat, and then I want to talk a little bit more on reflections. artistic reflections. So if you guys had any questions on what to expect this summer as far as commentary, just leave it in the comments below, and we'll go ahead and take a look at the chat. Dr. Y says, Sound Engraver, I'm about to start a drawing challenge. Every year, there is an art reference creator who holds a challenge to create art based on her releases in the month of June. Hey there. Yeah, Fotis and I just finished that 7-day challenge for Mr. David Wise. And I think challenges are great. They really, really do push you. At least I was personally pushed. I was sweating bullets that whole challenge. I think with the Video Game Music Academy, with other challenges, I'll probably go way lighter than I did. But it was David Wise, and I really, really wanted to excel for someone like him. So yeah, challenges are really important. Again, as I said in my boot camp video, they should be stints. They should be 7 days. You really like the amount of steam that I used and that energy I used for the 7-day challenge, I would not recommend for a month. Oh, that's very nice. Schooner Tuna says, you will be great as a teacher. We all believe in you. Thank you. I'm pretty practiced as far as teaching is concerned and speaking publicly. It's just always fun. Well, 2 challenges for this Logic Pro class. One, I've never taught it, so that's always fun. That's always exciting. You don't know what to expect. It could be like the anything could go over the student's head, or the student can latch right on, and you actually have to pedal harder to say, oh, I got to give you more stuff to teach, or I got to teach you more stuff. So I'm getting the impression it's going to be that way with my online student. But the next challenge is it's going to be online. Now I've been teaching violin online, but with Logic Pro, it's going to require audio that I need to hear from the student's desktop. So I'm going to be looking at platforms for that. Maybe Zoom has that option for a little extra. Oh, thank you, Fotis. For reference on how to do your Logic classes, you can check out the tutorials on those, like those on Lynda, see how they're structured. Yeah, I've actually seen those tutorials, and I think it was Logic that I saw. I actually have the curriculum. I have the 8-week curriculum down. It's more the pace, like, will I fill 90 minutes well and stuff like that. So, and then Professor Geek says, yes, that's a very disturbing thought. Yeah, Fan Man. Yeah, he could stay in Louisiana. No, I would love to see Fan Man in person. I think that would be so fun. Actually, Brian brings up a good point. Admittedly, I'd be down for weekend streams since I have more free time there. Yeah, weekends are way better than Monday nights as far as getting that audience. If I did a Saturday afternoon stream in the summer, it wouldn't be weekly. I just have too much to do. But it'd be once in a while, maybe once or twice this summer, if I had something to talk about. And it would be around, I finished teaching on Saturdays like 6 p.m. Eastern time. So it'd be around 7, maybe for 90 minutes or so. If I have the energy, because I teach up to 6 hours, 5 hours straight Saturdays, and then for another hour after I have an hour off or something. So I'm usually wiped out by Saturdays. Because I teach 6 days a week. I have Sunday off, but I usually teach 6 days a week. I've never had a 2-day weekend in not never, but I haven't had one besides the holidays in 4 years. I don't know if I saw that one, Fotis. Did you ever check out that cheesy Roland song? I tagged you on Twitter. Oh no. You know what? There's something about Twitter, and I've tried to get notified. The notifications on my Twitter are really, really finicky. And what that means is I'm not notified who follows me. I know there's a way to do that, but I've just had troubleshooting issues with Twitter probably the last couple of years. So actually, I'll check the notifications because it will be on the list of notifications, but I actually won't be signaled. So yeah, I'll definitely check that out. Sorry about that. I'm trying to be more active on Twitter, but I haven't been in the last, really since the turn of the year. Probably been before. Okay, the artist name is Adorka Stock, formerly Senchi Stock. I think she may be on Twitter and Patreon too. What kind of art does she do? Excuse me. I had a delicious dinner. My prof got me dinner. He mailed it to my door. It was just awesome. Thank you, Prof. It actually really sweetened the day. Yeah, I had a great day anyway, but that topped it off just right. Also, yesterday I was playing the game Silent Bomber for I remember that PlayStation 1. I never had a PlayStation. I had a cousin who had that, and the soundtrack kind of reminded me of your Salamandos tracks, energetic with arpeggiated bass. Yeah, I mean, I didn't really mean to do techno. It was actually just a matter of kind of finding the instrumentation. See, I don't know about you, Fotis, but I have to get the structure down first before anything else. And if that means using the same instruments before I actually modify the instruments, that's fine. Modifying instruments, changing it up, orchestrating it, and improving the instrumentation can take me days. I'm not exaggerating when I say that. Sometimes to get it just right, it takes me such a long time. So what I focus on, my tracks more or less had the same instrumentation. So what I focused on was just structure and for the rough drafts. That's cool. Silent Bomber for PlayStation 1. A couple things I would like to definitely get started on after the Donkey Kong Country series is Final Fantasy for Super Nintendo, and also definitely Chrono Trigger. I've never played Chrono Trigger, but I know the story and I know the soundtrack, so looking forward to that. There was something else too. Not that I would ever do anything that would cause me to be under house arrest, but if I was under house arrest, I'd be fine because I think there are more than enough games to last a lifetime from Prof's Retro Box. Brian Gilmartin says, speaking of projects, I'm going to get myself some wood to build a new entertainment center for myself. The one I have is overloaded and a bit of a mess. Well, good for you. Oh man, that sounds like a fun project. Gil Martin also says, keep doing that SNES series. Is it SNES? I've always said SNES series. The videos you do, the more attention you get, especially once you branch out into the game series. Yeah, I would like to continue because there are just really well composed soundtracks, both for standards of excellence, both for music composition and for gameplay. So it's a really important topic. Scooter Tuna says, composing for Batman, the Burton movie? No, that's not a theme. That's not a theme. Tim Burton's Danny Elfman's Batman is a great motive, but it's not a theme. I'm gonna that will be one other commentary video I'd love to do this summer. I should probably do so just to clarify, to talk to you guys the difference, to tell you the difference between a theme and a motive. And I've covered that on my streams involving Star Wars, and also my Star Wars music content, both for the sequel trilogy and the Clone Wars. The music was just it just wasn't there. The music for the Clone Wars, as far as electronic music is concerned, is awesome, but it just wasn't there in terms of Star Wars. And I think for the sequel trilogy, I I covered what it means to be a motive and also be a theme. So Danny Elfman's Batman music is awesome, and it sounds just like Batman, as Batman should sound. But it's not a musical theme. You know, like Beethoven's da 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 da. You know, that famous symphony. That there's really, for that first movement, not the fourth movement. Actually, the fourth movement does have has a melody, has a theme, but the first movement, the most famous one, is built on motifs or motives. I actually like to say musical motives. Some people say motifs. I don't usually use that word. I wasn't taught that word unless it was like in the form of leitmotif. So musical motives was kind of stacked on each other, and that's how he branched out and laid that foundation, that structure, that musical structure. But the first movement doesn't really have a melody. Not even this da 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 da. Yeah, it's melodic, but it's not a melody. It's melodic, but it's not a melody. There is a difference. And I'll have to really go into depth on what the difference is. Let's see. I know nothing about Green Lantern. I know. That's kind of bad. See, I'm dating the Prof. You know, he is my significant other, but I still don't know much about DC guys or Marvel. So I'll stick to the core three. Now, Fotis says this: a highly underrated Batman theme is that by Nick Rundell for the Arkham trilogy. See, actually, Prof is playing that, or was playing that, and maybe we'll cover some of that. I'll listen to that soundtrack because I was just enjoying just watching him play the game, and I heard the background music. But if that's like a theme, I mean, the closest I've heard is Shirley Walker with the Batman animated series. It's very close. In fact, I'll probably have to listen to it one more time to really home in and pinpoint, is that a theme or is that more of that atmospheric thing? But it's very close. Shirley Walker's music is really, really close. And it's really good too. Whether it's a theme or not doesn't matter. Actually, that music is really good. Oh, Prof says, I just took a picture of your greetings to Alan and then texted it to him. He's touched and he says hi. That's awesome. I can't wait till I see him again anywhere. Wolf 10 says, Senchi stock does stock poses for artists who practice gestures like sketching, drawing, and digital art. She likes many others, and she, like many others, are great help in the art community. That's terrific. Foda says, I've been there. I've had to focus on structure. It's tempting to tweak sounds endlessly and going nowhere on actual songs. Oh my gosh, that's actually why I save instrumentation for last. Structure, then instrumentation. Because once the structure's there and then I hear it, and that's not to say the structure can't be modified later and things taken out later, but if I can spend so many hours on like one instrument, one or two instruments, and just kind of mess with it. You're probably the same way. And then I just realized I don't get anything done. So, yeah. Let's see. I think Scooter Tuna is about to say a joke. Oh, now I know what you meant by when you said composing Batman. You're going to do Kiss by a Rose by Seal. Okay, here's the thing. Those lyrics are really weird. There's no question, but I really do like the music. It is, well, it's good composition. There's this little interlude he does that drives me nuts. It doesn't fit. It does not fit. I don't know how it made it into the album. It just doesn't work. It's like kind of like this dinky kind of cheesy thing, and then it's got that really nice melody. Da 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 da. I mean, I'm not gonna sing the words because I find the words kind of cheesy, but it's good. It's got a real nice punch to it. The Final Fantasy one, yeah. I already have I would already have a lot to say about the soundtracks for that. My microphone looks off. Hopefully I sound all right. Let me adjust my chair. Yeah, Final Fantasy, the battle music for Final Fantasy 2, or 4 in North America. Final Fantasy 5, the Battle of Gilgamesh. Love that music. I might even do an analysis, but the thing is, 8-Bit Music Theory, who is a really good channel to go to, 8-Bit Music Theory, he's already done a video on that, and it's just great. It's just, and he, as far as theory is concerned, go to his very entertaining videos with hardcore music theory. And it goes over a lot of people's heads. Actually, there's some times where he goes fast and I kind of have to like, oh yeah, that's true. But people still find his videos really entertaining. I'm not really a Prince person because I don't really know any of his songs. I'm really bad with famous people, guys. I'm just awful. Yeah, actually Clone Wars was just Star Wars. It didn't have its own theme. I did a whole video on this under my Star Wars playlist. I did make a Star Wars playlist because I realized I talked a lot about Star Wars. I go into the problems of generating electronic music, even good electronic music, at the end of the season. But I'll just give you a little teaser here so you can watch it another time. Those videos take forever because I try to line up my thoughts with different pictures, so it's visual. But you know how Prof does some of the archetypal videos with the pictures. I'll tell you guys right now, those are they take so long to edit, and they're worth it. They're worth it in the end. I'm pretty proud of my commentary videos with the visuals, but they take a long time to edit. The mouth sounds and the pictures. Well, I edit the mouth sounds because I like my audio just crisp. But anyway. Oops. Give her time, folks. We'll get her there. That's right. Actually, Prof is going to be really the one that introduces me to all the famous, iconic rock and popular music and all that. And then he also says, I agree with on the Arkham theme, Fotis and stuff. So Owen Lister says Green Lantern doesn't have a theme. Interesting. Yeah, I should do a video on the difference between the two. It'd be worth explaining. Really, it's not. Neither is well, both are important. I was about to say neither is superior to the other, but I kind of want to say music theme is a little more important than motive. I'll explain why later. When someone has, or something has, like in the form of drama, like a place, an idea, or a character, when they actually have a theme, a fully fleshed out melody, it's perfectly written in that it is singable. It's memorable when it's that. I remember talking about the really, and this is in no way knocking, knocking John Williams. But his writing for the sequel trilogy, it must have been under someone's direction because he actually used the music in a very, very confusing way. I touched on that in another video in on my Star Wars playlist. Kylo Ren has a motive. Rey has a theme. And I explained why Kylo Ren having a motive that did not exceed 5 notes. Didn't exceed 5 notes. And that is a problem. That's actually a problem in the movie. And I explained in the video why that is a problem. Now, Rey does have a theme, but she has a problematic theme because her theme actually does not start until like, I think it's like 27 seconds with all this, like, it's like an overture. It has an overture, which is fine, I guess, especially in the scenery. I guess it works. But when Luke Skywalker was introduced, his theme was right there. Like we latched right onto it. We knew what this character was about. With Rey, and you know, we all know that her writing, that writing of that character was really convoluted. She has it's a beautiful stretch of music. I'm not saying it's not well written, but in terms of the story, it doesn't work. But with Kylo's motive does not work. Yeah, but I discussed that on my video as well. Nice. Photo says Zimmer it up. Yeah, I'll talk about Hans Zimmer too. But I gotta study a little bit more about Hans Zimmer before I actually talk about him on a video. Yeah, I mean, I like the song. I don't know if it fit the movies, the films. I hadn't seen the subsequent Batman '89 films. Well, if I did, it was like when I was a little kid, like a long time ago. I didn't really think that Kiss by a Rose really fit a superhero movie, to be honest. I love talking with you guys on the chat. I'll talk a few more things with you guys. You know, I'll post a few comments, and then I'll talk about kind of some artistic reflection, and then we can just chat and have a casual chat and all that good stuff. But Daniel Craig, why is everyone making fun of Seal recently? Even at work, I got the 3rd degree. I don't really know him as an artist. I only know him for that song, and I don't really think it's a bad song. I mean, yeah, I don't care for a little bit of the structure of that song, but it's not a bad song. I mean, you know, compared to what was coming out at the time, it's not a bad song at all. Shirley Walker's amazing. This woman needs more praise. Her theme of Batman, the Mask of the Phantasm, remains my most favorite Batman theme. Again, I don't think it's a theme, but it's really, 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 really close. It's really, really close. I might do a comparison of like her theme and then what to expect of a theme. I'll listen to hers again. It's very, very good. It's very, very, very good. In fact, actually, when I compose a theme for Batman, it's really going to take on what she had done. There's just a little bit of a difference. He has kind of a. It's not emotive though. It's pretty fleshed out. What she did for Batman was pretty fleshed out. So I'll have to take a listen before I say anything of hers, because I could be mistaken. She might have a theme that I'm just not aware of. But when I was listening to it, it's my impression that it's very, very close to a theme, but it's not quite there. Daniel Craig says, "Yeah, you're really not going to be a Prince fan at all." I don't really know much about him, to be honest. I know what he looks like. I feel bad. I do like Michael Jackson, though. Is that wrong of me to say? Michael Jackson, in terms of music composition, some very, very good stuff. All right. So let's talk about some artistic reflection, and then we'll get to the chat. So I'm letting it hang around the 10:09, 10:10 mark. So it's kind of I feel good about what I'm about to say, but before I say what I'm about to say, is artists, whatever you do, music, illustrations, story writing, writing for a comic, storytelling, I should say, in the different art forms. The more you do your art, the more you practice, the more you are going to know what it is you need to take care of. You're going to understand yourself a little bit better. Now, I'm not saying know thyself like in kind of a self-centered, self-absorbed way. I think artists always can have that propensity, where we're kind of inward. I'm not saying inward in a good way either. I'm saying more egotistical. When I say self-evaluation, it's actually, you could say it in kind of a religious way, like, Professor Keek, he's Catholic, I'm Protestant, but we, in our own different ways, we practice our self-evaluation as far as our spiritual walk with the Lord. That constant, are we maintaining faith in an honorable way? It's that kind of reflection. It's that kind of artistic reflection, self-evaluation. The more you do that, I would say you do this, you have more of that, the process of self-reflection and evaluation, the more you practice your art. So let's kind of clear up what I mean there. When you work to produce, when you're working on a constant daily basis, when you're grinding it out every day, and by grinding it out, I'm not saying all day. We all have jobs. I have a part-time teaching job. I'm involved sometimes at my church. You guys have your jobs. Some of you have family to be with. And we all have different relationships and things about life that keeps us healthily away from our art. But, if you practice every day, you're going to find that you'll know what's best for your art even as you go, like from 2 months ago, from 1 month ago to now, to today. So what do I mean by all of this? Well, I've been stressing a certain theme on my channel. I've been stressing is being prolific, being prolific with your art. And this year, 2021, I've made this endeavor to produce and release about 3.5 albums. Now, I have one album out. I'm working on a 4-track album that I thought I would by now have out. I thought it was going to be out March or April, and now it's the last day of May. And I'm still working on it, but I'm not cranking it out at the speed anymore that I thought was important. And for a while I've been kind of fighting, like, no, I have to get this out. Now, it's not perfectionism that I'm wrestling with. I'll tell you in a minute what I'm wrestling with, or feeling restless of. But it's just like, something's holding me back from producing so quickly, so aggressively. Now, again, I'm not really like the go-getter entrepreneur spirit. No, I just believe in producing frequently, producing professional art frequently. I'll always have that mindset. But lately, really this month, and I'm adjusting my headphones because it's hot, it's summer. But lately this month, I had the 7-day challenge. Fotis did it as well, where we're cranking out video game music and just kind of getting something real quick by the end of the day every day for 7 days straight. And it was a really good exercise, but it pulled me away from my album. I'm like, okay, that's 7 days away from my 4-track album. That's okay. I'll get it done next week. And then I was building Technique in Logic Pro. And I was like, well, I love these instruments, but it's not working quite right. So I'm like tweaking here and here. Just, before I know it, it's end of May. And I'm like, well, now I'm going to release it in June. And then it was a couple days ago where, no, not a couple days ago. I would say Thursday of last week, where I posted on my community tab and then also Twitter that I was going to have SuperCollider take a back seat. I hadn't been in SuperCollider for a month now, for the month of May. And I said, okay, SuperCollider's taking the back seat for videos, and I'll continue doing Logic, and I'll continue doing works in progress videos to get my album out. But 2 days after I made those posts, I was really starting to miss SuperCollider. And I started watching a video of Eli's, and then I started watching my own SuperCollider video, those demos that I've been posting. With SuperCollider, that's the biggest playlist that I have, because I've just been so committed to this software, to this content. And I'm listening to the sounds, I'm looking at the code, and I'm just missing it. And I've been looking at the analytics of my YouTube channel, and SuperCollider is the bread and butter of my channel. People love to go to my SuperCollider videos. But even more than that, SuperCollider is the thing that makes me feel so alive. I have so much joy in SuperCollider that I don't have with Logic Pro and even with my violin. Now, that's not to say I love SuperCollider more than Logic Pro or more than my violin. I've been on my violin for 25 years. I love the violin. With SuperCollider, I could be with Logic Pro and the violin. That's beautiful, because I have a beautiful marriage, but sending MIDI messages, like MIDI protocol between SuperCollider and Logic Pro. And I could do live signal processing, and I could play violin next to some, MIDI sounds and MIDI instruments. So SuperCollider, if I'm sure all of you are aware, at least those of you who've been on my streams or catching me on the replay, SuperCollider is an incredible, just incredibly flexible software. A 32-bit, good audio fidelity. I thought it was 64-bit, but I'll have to check that. I think it is 32-bit. Just beautiful soundscapes that you can make, and it's very dynamic. It's very, very powerful. You can do a lot of great composition techniques in it. And I learned SuperCollider about 5-6 years ago now, and I still feel like I know nothing about SuperCollider, but that's not true. I know some techniques. But SuperCollider offers something to me that not even the violin offers, and not even Logic Pro. And I'll tell you what that is. SuperCollider, the thing that just I described it to the prof last night. It's like a clock maker, or maybe a toy maker. Getting into the clock or the toy and tweaking things and building parts for things, spare parts for things, parameters for things, pulling things apart, readjusting them. There's kind of a sense of wonder. We'll see like those Christmas movies of making toys or the clock makers, that they have so much joy in tinkering different things. And I found that with SuperCollider. But it's not just troubleshooting and just tinkering around and building things, like building synths and building this huge score of all these different parameters. SuperCollider actually, what it does offer that the other two, violin and Logic Pro, what they don't offer, SuperCollider offers the unknown to me. I could build this massive score of something and not know what's going to come next. Yeah, I have a sense. I have an idea. I'm like, okay, well, this I've got this audio sample controlled by this sine wave, and I've applied like a low pass filter on it. Okay, I have the general idea of what the sound is. I have the general idea of how it's going to oscillate, how it's going to be controlled, dynamically controlled. But some things are just, it's a very microscopic world in terms of sound, meaning things are working in the infinite scale, whereas like the smallest change in a value can change your entire world of sound. That's what SuperCollider offers to me. And I find so much joy in that. I can't really explain it. And I think you guys have, if you guys have the same experience with something else, go ahead and say that in the chat. But I have just so much joy in SuperCollider that I don't quite have with Logic Pro and violin. Now that's not to say I would give up violin or give up Logic Pro. Absolutely not. What I love about these three is, and including my voice, I would say violin and voice, all of that is integral. Like all of that, like Logic Pro, SuperCollider, violin, voice, all of that can be synthesized in the grand scheme of things in experimental electronic music. But when I avoid SuperCollider to compose my album, so even though I'm doing something very productive, as productive as releasing an album, when that takes me away from SuperCollider for a month, and so far this year, 2021, it's been 2 months, I feel, almost artistically speaking, I feel a sense of deprivation. I feel like something is lacking. It's not to say I don't take joy in the work that I'm doing, but something's not working well for me. Now, there's another part. It's kind of like a two-parter. It's not just that I'm not in SuperCollider, but when I'm not working with sound experimentation and I'm only working on my album, well, the problem is I'm also not composing anymore. It's kind of hard to explain if you're not in that workflow, with violin, Logic Pro, and SuperCollider. But when I'm working on my album, I really am not composing anymore because I have the structure down and I'm just tweaking the instruments. And then I'm like really fine tuning the instruments, with a fine tooth comb. I'm really just getting all the kinks out, all the sound kinks out as much as I can before the final polished product that will be released on Bandcamp and my website and all that. It's good work. That editing is good work. But when I'm not composing, I really do have a sense of loss, artistically speaking. It's not that I'm moody or depressed. I'm still upbeat, but there's like a tremor in the back of my brain. It's like, you should be working in some soundscapes and SuperCollider, see what you can do for a new composition. It's that little tick. It's that little voice in the back of my head saying, hey, yeah, you are producing an album and that's really good. Yeah, you are practicing your violin. That's really good. But you really should be composing. Like it's that. So what did I do? Well, I finally listened. Last week, I listened to that kind of inner voice. I was looking at videos, and I was even looking at an old score and tinkering around and troubleshooting and going like this. This is my little cheer. Every time I troubleshoot and I solve a problem, I'm like, yeah. Actually, sometimes I'll be shouting and I'll have my headphones on, and it's like I'm watching a sports team win a game or whatever, and that's the joy. Like I am a total sports fan when it comes to troubleshooting and tinkering and finally ultimately fixing something in SuperCollider that really produces an epic world of sound. And I miss that. And it's wonderful. It's so wonderful to see how beneficial this is on my YouTube channel as well. So all this to say is I think it's very important to produce prolifically. I think it's very important to produce professionally. But I'm at that stage where all I'm doing is editing and tweaking. I'm not composing. In fact, the 7-day challenge was almost like a reprieve. As hard as it was, I was composing again. I wasn't just editing stuff. And that's not to say my editing is that's work that's vain. No, I learn new technique and I train my ear and I hear things and I home in on what needs to be done. Yeah, I've developed a kind of proficiency with only editing, but it's kind of like a writer. I was telling this with Professor Geek last night. You can have like a backlog of stuff that you've written, and you're like, okay, I've got 8 things I need to proofread or get it proofread, get it edited, and then and release out. Send it out for the world to see. Now that's great. You've got 7 or 8 things to release. But if you only edit as a writer, and I'm already feeling this with my own editing as a writer too. I'm like, I haven't written in like 2 months. I've only been editing my stuff. If you haven't edited or if you haven't written as a writer, if you've only edited, if you've been at this game, if you've played this game for a long time, you'll feel restlessness. And that's where I've been in the last week. I've felt restlessness where watching a field steel tutorial and kind of looking at the code, I'm like, oh man, from his video, I can create 2 more videos, and I've got another video on SuperCollider. Like the wheels were turning again. It was actually emotionally and mentally refreshing to me. So I definitely want to bring to the table the importance of being prolific, but also the importance of staying proficient in your craft. I'm not a music editor before I'm a composer. I'm a composer who edits my music. That's the most important thing. That is absolutely the most important thing. I don't master my tracks. Maybe in the future, 5-10 years down the road, if it comes to that, yeah, maybe I could have the time, the schedule, and the ability to master my own tracks. But for now, composing is what needs to take my time. So how do I fix this? Well, I fix the restlessness by working in SuperCollider again and being in SuperCollider daily, because up until this last year, up until 2021, like February of 2021, I was in SuperCollider every day. So it's like, where did that go? So we're in June now. So it's been 5 months this year so far. 2 of those months I have not been in SuperCollider. So 3 of the 5 months I have been in SuperCollider, but not frequently. And I'm like you probably see it like on my face. I feel that restlessness. And that's what I want to share with you guys. The more you practice your craft, the more you're into this routine, the more you're going to be in tune with what you need to do as an artist. So that is that. So how do I fix it? What I'll do is continue working on my album, just not so much nose to the grind, because I do need to spend time in SuperCollider. And then also SuperCollider and Logic Pro together. So I will continue working on my album, but it's definitely not going to be within the time frame. I'm not going to release it within the time frame as I originally thought, as I initially thought like a month ago. So I will still work on it. I will still release it. I may still have time to release 1 more album this year, but I also actually want to try my hand in 1 single track, a very good single track. So where I'm staying prolific is actually something I touched on last week. If you're not producing professionally, if you're not being prolific with your professional art, the idea then is to be prolific in your commentary. So always keep building your social platform, whether it's YouTube, whether it's your own website, whether it's building maybe you're building your own tutorials on something. I would love to do that with violin. I'd love to start building a presence on violin, both performing and also possibly teaching good video recordings. Hopefully this next year, maybe into 2022, because I'm going to have a completely different schedule starting September. It's gonna be awesome. So those were my thoughts. If you guys have any some feedback or input on that, if you've experienced the same thing, or if you kind of get what I'm saying, if you have a feeling of restlessness, you got to scratch that itch. If you're feeling like I'm neglecting something I shouldn't be, then you have to, you cannot ignore it. You can't ignore it. Now, I'm not saying don't plan. Like, still be very intentional with your time. Still be very intentional with your day, with your week, with your month, with the goals you have for that year as far as producing professionally, or at least producing your skill, or becoming more proficient in your skill. But if there's something like, this doesn't feel right, then you've got to address it. And you've got to address it pretty quickly. But this comes from practicing. This comes from really being in that artistic headspace all the time, like daily. So those are my artistic reflections. So I would love to hear your thoughts. And I'm probably going to adjust my headphones because it's like, oh, whew. My headphones, these cups are so old. I couldn't get anything for a Memorial Day sale, so I'm going to get something for Labor Day. I'm going to wait until Labor Day until I've moved and I'm all set up, or I'm settling in September. That will be great. Like, saving up some money, not just for the move, but also for the Labor Day sale. All right. Anything for me? Yeah, well, one listener says, Sound Engraver, when you're working on the sequel tragedy, he'd be confused too. Yeah, I think there was direction. He was told to do it. I think he was told to do something in a certain way. Yeah. I mean, he probably had that same direction with George Lucas, but it's definitely different. Yes. Yes. Oh, the sequel trilogy's crime was using the binary sunset and inappropriate times like the end. Yeah, after she buries the lightsabers. All right. See, that's the thing. I do like R&B. I enjoy some R&B. I mean, if it's well produced and if it's good composition. Seal is in if you're an R&B person, and that genre varies depending on the singer. Yeah, the thing is, I'm not really. I know the style of R&B and I like it, but I couldn't tell you like an artist of R&B. At least artists that I love. At first I'm like, no, you love Michael Jackson. No, loving Michael J is never a crime. Never let anyone tell you different sound. I just got to be objective, I just a lot of his music is just it's really up there in standard. Really, really good. Oh, you're talking about the lyrics. Okay. Yeah, I feel like he kind of like a showman with or kind of like Michael Jackson, but with good musicianship and music, but I've told you guys too, I think on this stream that I really just sounds kind of boring, but I really just listen to instrumental music. I listen to opera sometimes, but not sometimes. But I don't really, besides Alison Krauss and the Union Station, I really, Punch Brothers too, and Infamous String Dusters. But I really don't listen to vocal music or music with songs, I should say. Oh, I did not know that. Plus, Michael Jackson's Beat It features the great Eddie Van Halen on guitar. I did not know that. Now you guys are doing the all the top songs. Yeah, why not? I mean, it's a sad song. It's not really an encouraging song, but Billie Jean is a very good, at least composition. It's great, good stuff. Dr. Y says, if you want to hear a music mishmash, watch The Lion King 2019. Zimmer's work is out of place all over that movie, unlike the original. Yeah, I never saw the Broadway. Oh, I'm sorry, you're talking about the film, the 2019 film. So he did the music for that film too. I'll stick to the original. Don't watch Cruella, guys. Watch the original 101 Dalmatians. Don't watch Lion King 2019. Watch the original. Come on, guys. We got to evangelize. POTUS and stuff says, watch the music video for MJ's They Don't Care About Us. It's even better than the studio version. I won't spoil why. Go check it out, everyone. They don't care about us. Music video. You know, a weird fact about me, guys. I'm not into music videos. I really can't wrap my head around music videos. The music videos have to have a condition for me to enjoy it. The video has to accentuate the player's ability to perform. So what does that mean? Well, the camera and the motion has to work with the instrumentalist or the vocal, meaning you can't move the camera, you can't move the instrument out of frame, you can't move the person out of frame, you can't have the person dancing all the time. I have to see the performer's ability to perform. I have to see them know how to play a cello. I have to see them know how to play the violin. I have to see the fingers on the keyboard for this to work, okay, guys? So when there's a simplicity, I think one good one, actually, I will say, I'm not really a fan of them. I mean, I'm not saying they're bad, but the real famous cello duo, two cellos, what kind of name is that? I guess that's why they're so famous, because that's an easy name to remember. But two cellos, I don't know the names of the performers. I guess I would recognize the names. But they did a music video called, a cover of Hallelujah. And it really was beautiful. It was very well done. It was a beautiful artistic video. It was a beautiful video. But it was also, it was stunning, but it was also simple in that, yes, I know they can play, but now I can see them play. I can see the intimate playing of the cello. I don't like it when I see YouTubers, YouTube music videos, whether they're famous or just kind of like somewhat famous, maybe they have like 50,000 subscribers, and they're all dancing. They're all dancing on the keyboard. Like you don't see the keyboard, so you don't see them strike the keys. Or when the violinist she's like this and this, and it's like, well, no, wait, let me see you do that octave, okay? I want to see you doubling those notes. I want to see you do that, because there's something, especially with the violin, there's something aesthetical about the violin. It's just a beautiful instrument. It forms the person, like, no matter who it is. I'm not saying because I'm a violinist, but there's just something about, having your, well, you can't see it right now, but just having your hand out and then having the arm shaped as a V and your arm nice like this. It's very poised. It's like a sculpture. So I don't want to see bobbing, dancing and moving so fast where I can't even see you. Like I can see that they know how to play the violin, but I have to see that better. And so I'm not a fan. But Michael Jackson, I'll give him his videos would be okay. I would say his videos would be pretty cool. Oh, that's a good one, man. That's a good song. I'm staring at a mirror. I don't know why the melody is escaping me, but yeah. I'll have to listen both Daniel Craig to 70s and 80s. I do remember liking them both. Let's see, I have some resources for NES sounds. Do you want me to tweet them to you later? You can. I likely won't use those sounds. I love those sounds. Like, don't get me wrong. But I might not. I do like working with old ideas and textures, but with new current instruments. I could see. Go ahead and tweet those to me. And I'll definitely look at them and see if I like them. But I don't really have an interest of composing that kind of music, or at least that kind of instrumentation, as much as I like it. Like, if David Wise decided to do an album on that kind of old school instrumentation, oh yeah, I'd buy that album. I just have a lot of different ideas as a composer that really is moving forward. I would love in some way to, I don't even know if this is going to happen down the road, but really have high fidelity sounds like I hear in SuperCollider. So yeah, I would say yes, I definitely want to. I would take a look at those. I don't know if I would use them for my composition. I'd maybe like for a fun project in the future, but I have so many projects I have to get done. But thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that. Fox dot. Why does that sound familiar? I don't. What is fox dot? Is that a way of syntax? I use the object orient language. I think that's it. That it's from C++. Fox dot. I mean, I use an Apple. What is fox dot? I'm sure I should know. I'm gonna look it up. Fox dot. Oh, this is a live coding. Oh, Python-based language. I this is another weird thing about me. I love SuperCollider, but I'm not a fan of live coding. I'm a weird musician. Okay, I'm not into music videos. I'm not into live coding for SuperCollider. I mean, if what I would like to do with SuperCollider, I love performing. I would love to perform with a live SuperCollider score, but I don't. This isn't me saying this of other artists. For me personally, as a performer, I wouldn't want in a concert to be actually working in the syntax with live stuff. I actually kind of do that with my SuperCollider demos anyway. Like if you see SuperCollider demos and there's no speaking, I'm not doing a demo with like kind of a set of instructions or a set of observations. If you don't hear me speaking, I'm actually messing around with the code on demo. I like that in kind of the video format with my channel. But to be in a concert hall, I would love, 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 whether it's a fixed score. I would love to do sound processing with violin. I've always had that interest ever since I was in college, and I've really only dabbled in it. I would like to do more of it. Maybe I'll have a couple of videos this summer. At least one video. That'd be nice. One video of live signal processing, whether voice or violin, with something like granular synthesis or something. Yes. We are not talking about that atom smasher. Not to be confused with the giant machine in Switzerland or some European country. I think this that SuperCollider you're talking about is underneath the French-Swiss border. Like there was some talk, I think a number of years back, where it's like, this thing is going to create a black hole. See, that's why I'm Christian, guys. I don't get scared about that stuff. I mean, there's the end times, but that I feel like I can brave the end times a little bit better than an actual human-made, man-made black hole under a European border. Horizon Talker says he's using an example. I know something similar when I was lettering comic pages instead of drawing for a week or so. It was satisfying to master the skill, but something was lacking. Yes. Yeah. Even if you gain proficiency in something and there's still something that's neglected, it really kind of pegs you with this restlessness. And this hair's getting in my face. It's so important to be in tune with that. Now, again, I will say that this what I'm saying applies to people working on their craft every day. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, Owen Lister. When it comes to awesome themes in movies, the Lord of the Rings trilogy comes to mind. My personal favorite is the Riders of Rohan. Oh yeah, da 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 da. Yeah, yeah, that's good. Howard Shore, he had a theme for everything. I mean, even Gollum's theme, it's not so much like a fully fledged. I think I'm saying that word right. It's not like a fully fleshed out melody. Um, it is. Oh yes, it is. It blossoms at the credit scene. Oh, the credit music. I mean, it's all good. It's that. Oh, man, every time I think about that score, I just get chills. It's so good. That is timeless, guys. The release day of whatever Amazon is doing, is not going to be Lord of the Rings. It's not going to be Middle Earth. That's not going to be what Tolkien wrote. We got to celebrate by watching Lord of the Rings. We'll have like a public thing going on. Actually, I don't even know when the release date is, but Catholic Bible Geek channel is going to have a reading sometime this summer, maybe next week. It all depends if Al's getting his internet. Oh, that's so nice. Me and Jake are late. It was my son's Matt's birthday yesterday, and he stopped by to visit. Oh, that's so great. I hope you guys had a really nice get together. And happy birthday, Matt. That's yes, May the 30th. That's right. That's wonderful. I feel like I'm missing someone's birthday. Well, Big Al turned. Well, I won't say what he turned. On the 26th, he had his birthday. Poor Big Al. He didn't get his stroganoff or internet on his birthday. I hope he treats himself once he gets everything settled. Brian Gilmartin says, while we're thinking of Final Fantasy themes, what do you make of the Red Wings theme from Final Fantasy IV? The song you hear at the start of the game. I love it. Oh, what is it? I'm thinking of the climactic part. Yeah, it's like and it's 8-bit music, but you kind of hear that fanfare of the of the brass, the horns. It's wonderful. I'm blanking right now on the first part of that melody, but I'm hearing the second half. Horizon Talker says, for a couple of years in my 20s, commentary was the only way I could do writing at all. Engraver. It's definitely a big part of what kept my hand in the game. That's right. Oh, okay. Photo says, I've experienced the same thing moving away from Ableton to Reaper, then going back to Ableton. Now I'm ping-ponging between the two. I'm just curious, is there enough variety between the two where it kind of can work as a marriage? That's the thing is I can compose albums with Logic Pro only. But there's just something about SuperCollider that adds on to the experience. And maybe you're experiencing the same thing between the two software. Maybe one provides just a little bit more that the other does not. I tried getting into Ableton. I spent like a week. I wouldn't say a week. Probably like a few days of troubleshooting. And when I couldn't make heads or tails from it, it was like, I'm going to go back to Logic. And I think Ableton, especially live, would be really versatile as a performer. But I'm going to try to keep what I've been doing with SuperCollider and Logic Pro. But the thing is, I don't swear by software either. I'm like, you got to be in SuperCollider. You got to be in Logic Pro. No, I mean, you could be in Ableton. I have a friend who I haven't talked to in a couple months or a couple of years now that I think about it. That's weird. That's what the pandemic has done. He just lived by Reaper. He's like, you gotta break away from Logic Pro and get to Reaper. And I saw how flexible Reaper was. I really did see how versatile it was. So I every time I see a tutorial that involves Reaper or Ableton, I get a little, I feel a little happy for those people because I was like, yeah, they know how to be in that. That's right. So Owen's also experiencing the same thing. I had a similar feeling. I haven't been drawing as much as I should, but recently been getting into it more. Right now, I've been drawing different expressions and poses for my characters. Yeah, yeah. It's like you see that there's something important that you have to do. For me, it was producing an album. It's still producing an album. I still want to produce and release music. Like, just because I'm going back into SuperCollider doesn't mean I'm going to neglect my album projects. That would be something that would cause restlessness too. But it's like, oh, yeah, I should be doing this here. And it's not even a problem of procrastination. It's just a problem of neglect. It's like, no, I can't do that right now because this is more important. And then that inner voice is like, hey, now, how you doing? Yeah, Billie Jean is a cautionary tale. Yeah. I think I've seen his music video. I might check out his music videos, yeah. I just don't watch them. I should kind of see what's happening there this summer. Yes, Brian says nothing wrong with instrumental music. I owe my own interest in instrumental music to video games. Yeah. Now I do like instrumental music that includes a kind of choir or a kind of solo voice. You know, even if the solo voice is talking, in electronic music, I don't like talking. I know that's a common feature, and I know many people love it. I know my favorite artists in electronic music, they do it too. So I'm not saying it's wrong. It's just not what I prefer. Um, but if the person is speaking in a language I don't know, I'm okay with. I like that unintelligible background noise. It's like, ooh, this could be a mysterious land, like building that world. Because, I write science fiction. So it's like, ooh, maybe I'm in a mysterious place. Maybe I should write a certain mysterious place that this music gives me this impression. I don't mind voices in the background where they're in an intercom. It's like traffic control to the space shuttle or whatever, and the man is kind of speaking in a low voice, and there's like a band filter on his voice, so I can sort of hear his words, but I can't. It's still mysterious. So that stuff is fine too. But just singing, I mean, how about like electronic music with an angelic female voice that is singing Latin, like Kyrie. I don't think I said that word right. Prof would know how to pronounce that word. Kyrie. So yeah, I love Latin song. I really love Latin song. I need to get back into my Latin diction and know how to sing it because I do have, if I train myself enough, I do have the head voice for something like that. Oh, I'm seeing these ambiguous messages, then I realize they're Michael Jackson lyrics. All right. So the first Michael Jackson I will probably recommend is oh man. Hi guys. Connection is unstable. I'll be back. Come on. Can you guys see me? Say yes, you can see me. I think I got booted off. Okay, now you can see me. For sure. All right, let me go back up to chat. All right. Just a, yeah. Oh, yes, we can see you. Good. I just need that confirmation. It looked normal, but I just wanted to see. All right. So I'll catch up with chat. That's all I actually had to say. Let's see. Yes. Yes. A huge part of Jackson's performance is just his raw athletic talent as a dancer. No question. I know he has some major joint issues. Major physical issues after that, because I mean, like, you see his concert performance and he's on the heels of his feet and he's just leaning in a really weird way. Like, that's not even human. Are you from a different planet? That's you're Owen Lister says, what I like in a music video is when they manage to tell a story through the song in just a music video that has the artist singing on a cool set. Yeah, I like simplicity. All right. Just working through the chat. Dr. Weiss says, as much as I find drawing videos fun and easier to make than animation, I really want to get back to the stop motion animating. I miss it. Do it. Do it. I think, I mean, do you think you could, I mean, weren't your videos really viral? You know, your stop motion animation videos with Godzilla. I thought those, weren't those viral of yours? I feel like you can actually have a channel just dedicated to that. Interesting. Chino Moreno of Deftones, or I hope I said the first name, is a great example of a vocalist who really listens to vocal music, and that's interesting. So I don't feel so bad now because I'm not a vocalist. Well, I'm not a professional vocalist. I'm not a vocal teacher. I can sing, but I'm a violinist professionally. All right. That's what I was thinking. Kyrie eleison. That's not how you pronounce it. Is Greek. Kyrios means sir, literally, but in that context, it's a call for God. Eleison. I don't think I'm saying that right. Eleison, I think. Oh gosh, I'm so bad with my. You know, I won't do it in public. Okay. This name means have mercy on us. I'll say that better. I'm bad when it comes to Greek and Latin, but something that my sister and I can do pretty well is Hebrew. I don't even have to know what the word means, but if I pronounce it, like just how we would read it here in the West, or at least the United States, yeah, I can do it. So I have a concordance. James, what's his name? James Strong concordance of Greek and Hebrew words. Yeah, sometimes, there's like around 11 o'clock I get booted out for a couple seconds, but no harm done. Oh no, you forgot your password. I'll run a track by you to get your impressions. What were you talking about? Sorry. Getting a little memory slip there. We see you fine. I am? Is that true? Kyrie eleison? Is that how you say it? Oh, or at least if you want to sound in German. Yeah. Oh, oops. Yeah, that's also really pretty powerful. I love choirs and singers singing in languages I don't know. Oh, thank you, Fotis. Let's see. Elle y son. Like, is it son or son or I don't know. And I'm not gonna trust Google Translate either. Oh, that's interesting. The 26 Godzilla had, or sorry, 2016 had choirs singing in English. One song was meant to be Godzilla, while the other is for people suffering from his attack. That's interesting. All right. Oh yes, yes. Thank you. Oops. Oh, son, not son. Thank you. Or soon. No. All right. So, I mean, that really does it for me. I guess I can do a recap on what to do. There are a couple things I want to do. So on the doc for this week, I've got about, I would say 4 or 5 of those short videos on the writing of the Siege of Mandalore. Some good stuff. I definitely know I would love to do it by this Saturday. I would like to that streaming video that I had last week on the business or why artists, where they fall short with marketing. I can condense that a little bit. I mean, I checked the timestamps of that lecture. It was like 40 minutes. So hopefully I can, strip it down a little bit more, pare it down. So a little bit more of the Siege of Mandalore stuff, some streaming commentary. I'll also strip down some of my old streaming commentary, things like really important topics, like I know it's controversial, but it's why art is objective, why art is not subjective. I have a lecture of that, so I'll take my old lectures and pare it down and make some like some videos on that. Now, don't ask me right now why art is subjective, because that's a whole, or why art is not subjective. That's a whole other topic. Elation. Okay, son. Okay. Man, that's gonna just trip me up this whole time. All right, so a few more of those shorter videos, kind of peppered throughout the week. Maybe a lecture video. Obviously, a sound experimentation video. I think I'm going to really try to do some sort of SuperCollider experimentation this Thursday, involving MIDI protocol with Logic. That would be really fun. I'm troubleshooting a few things that I just would like to solve, but if I don't solve it, I'll just have some fun experimentation with it. But yeah, I'm getting back into SuperCollider. I can't neglect it anymore. It's not to say I'll have SuperCollider posts every week, because really the posts depend on my learning SuperCollider and if I have something worth showing you. So that's on the dock, and yeah, and then I'll be in the chats. I'll try to make the other streams of other people, of course. Obviously, I'll be on Catholic Bible Geek and the chat there, and the Professor Geek chat there. If I'm not working, I'll try to stop by Wolf 10 and see you in your chats. But you are talking about villains on WCR. My timing is impeccable. Yes, it is. Oops. Cool. Yes. Yes. So yeah, that's really it. Oh, Zootopia. He says, have a good summer. Monday nights won't be the same without you. Well, I don't want to really put words in Prof's mouth, but he has been kind of messing with the idea of doing gaming streams. I don't know how many, but probably every once in a while on Monday nights until I come back. But the thing is, I don't know what my schedule is going to be, so it might not even be Monday nights anymore. But I can promise you, I love streaming. I can promise you that it is going to be weekly, whatever time, whatever day that is. It's going to be weekly. So I'll still be around in the chats. I will still be producing commentary videos for all of y'all, depending on what you like. SuperCollider, Logic Pro, Star Wars, because I like Star Wars. But anyway, I think that's everything. So you guys have a wonderful, wonderful summer. I will be seeing you guys in the chats. I will be seeing you on the Professor Geek Facebook group page, of course. I'm still hanging around there. And you guys have okay, hold on. Let me announce this. My prof says, yes, starting next Monday, I'll be streaming KOTOR 2. That's cool. That's cool. So we will have Star Wars gaming streams Monday nights on Professor Geek channel. Oh, yeah. If you're when in doubt, this is the channel to go to. Sorry, my headphone. There. That's the channel to tune into Monday nights. So anyway, yeah, thank you guys. Thank you too, Dr. Y. Don't worry, I'll be back. I'll be back alive and kicking in a new setup with new audio equipment. It's gonna be so guys. By the time I see you again live, I will be so happy. I'm kind of ready for the summer to be over. But yeah, guys, it's been great. It's been an honor, and I will catch you guys later. But until I see you next, keep producing, keep preserving the art you love, and I will catch you later. Thanks again.